TikTok user Tender Slug begins documenting unexplained activity that only occurs when she's home alone. For weeks, she's been hearing heavy footsteps moving up and down her staircase. At first, she tried to explain them away as the house settling or pipes creaking, but the sounds were too deliberate and consistent to dismiss. She finally decides to record what she's been hearing. The audio clearly captures the sound of heavy footsteps rapidly moving up and down the stairs. Tender Slug remains completely still while filming, proving the sounds aren't coming from her movements. No one else is in the house, yet something is clearly moving up and down that staircase. The footsteps sound like someone running, creating loud impacts on each step. But capturing evidence of the phenomenon only made things worse. The activity begins happening every single day, and soon, Tender Slug realizes the entity isn't limiting itself to just one location anymore.
Guys, I'm hearing it again, but from downstairs this time. Yeah, nope.
The basement stairs are now experiencing the same unexplained footsteps. Whatever is causing this has claimed another part of her home. But the most terrifying discovery was yet to come. Days later, while working upstairs, Tender Slug hears something that makes her blood run cold.
I keep hearing somebody walk up and down my stairs, but there is obviously nobody there. There's nothing there. And it keeps coming up and down, up and down.
The main staircase erupts with footsteps again, this time directly below where she's standing. Whatever is running up and down those stairs shows no signs of stopping. Every time Tender Slug is alone in her house, the footsteps return. Multiple staircases, multiple times a day, always. When she's by herself.
I can see you.
The Jalan Raya bypass in rural Indonesia has a reputation that keeps most locals off the road after midnight. Drivers call it the White Ladies Highway. The legend dates back to 1997 when a bride disappeared on her wedding night while travelling this exact route. Her body was never found, but her white wedding dress was discovered hanging from a tree at kilometre marker 47. Instagram user Kang Soets had heard the stories but dismissed them as superstition. He'd driven this highway hundreds of times during his night shifts without incident, but on July the 25th, his dashcam captured something that changed his perspective entirely.
Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar.
A figure in white appears standing motionless on the roadside. What makes this footage disturbing isn't just the white clothing, it's the location. The figure is positioned at the exact kilometre marker where the wedding dress was found decades ago. When Kang Soets reviewed his dashcam footage, he noticed something he missed while driving. The figure casts no shadow, despite being directly in his headlights. He immediately checked the date and was shocked to discover this day, July the 25th, was the anniversary of the bride's disappearance. Local drivers refused to use this highway on that specific date, but Kang Soets didn't know until it was too late. Rock City Bakery in West Virginia has been experiencing unexplained activity for years. Co-owner Morgan and her staff have grown accustomed to items being moved around the shop overnight, but one particular type of object kept reappearing no matter what they did. Plastic bowls, shaped like spider webs, would consistently turn up in locations where they shouldn't be. The staff jokingly blamed Harry, their nickname for whatever presence haunts the bakery. Morgan eventually threw away every spider bowl in the shop, hoping to end the activity. It worked for several months, until one busy afternoon when Morgan discovered a spiderweb bowl sitting on the customer couch. Confused about how it got there, she reviewed the security footage. The footage shows the bowl apparently emerging from a painting hanging on the bakery wall. The object materializes in a way that defies logical explanation. No customers or staff members were near the painting when this occurred. Morgan believed this was Harry's response to her throwing away the bowls, but the activity at Rock City Bakery wasn't finished. A few weeks later, during the late night hours, the security system captured something even more disturbing. Another object appears to emerge from a different painting in the bakery. This time, it's a soda can that materializes and falls to the floor. At the same moment, a plastic skeleton decoration also falls from its position. The timing of both events happening simultaneously suggests something was moving through the bakery. Morgan shared both videos online hoping someone could provide an explanation. No one has been able to explain how objects appear to phase through solid paintings, and the staff at Rock City Bakery continue to work alongside whatever Harry is. But these two incidents remain the most unsettling footage ever captured at the location. Jehovah's Witness received an urgent message from a relative asking them to look at a hiking photo she'd just uploaded to Facebook. Comments were flooding in with questions she couldn't answer. The woman had spent the morning alone on a remote mountain trail she'd walked countless times before. She'd taken several scenic photos during her hike and shared them online without giving them much thought, but one image was generating concern from everyone. A pale figure in what appears to be white or light-coloured clothing stands among the trees in the background. When zoomed in, the figure clearly resembles a person watching from the forest. The woman who took the photo maintains she never saw any other person during her entire hike that morning, and whatever this is, seems that it had been standing there, observing her. A TikTok user named Chawachi. His girlfriend has always claimed the house is haunted, insisting she hears footsteps walking around upstairs when no one else is home. While downstairs, he begins hearing the unmistakable sound of footsteps moving around above him. He grabs his phone and decides to confront whatever is making the noise.
I've never heard it until now. I always said it's not haunted because the house is a little old. But it legit sounds like there's somebody upstairs. I will swing on a ghost, or if it's a person, I don't care. Who's up there? Oh my God, they're like at the top of the stairs. Come down these stairs and I will swing on you, I promise.
The man approaches the staircase and calls out asking who's upstairs. When he receives no response, he threatens he'll throw a punch at whatever comes down the stairs. Seconds later, heavy footsteps begin thundering down the staircase directly toward him. The man swings at the empty air as the footsteps reach the bottom. His girlfriend's claims about the house being haunted suddenly don't seem so far-fetched anymore. TikTok user Kubakoi made a decision that would turn his home into a nightmare. He purchased a mystery box on eBay for $5. Among random household items, he discovered a porcelain doll. Kubakoi placed the box on his table while browsing for more eBay deals. Then, his camera captured something that made him realize this was no ordinary purchase.
Dude, I swear this box just moved on its own. Shoot this out again. Oh,
The box suddenly moves across the table with no one touching it. Moments later, the doll's hand shifts position inside the box. Terrified, Kubakoi immediately moves the box into his closet and shuts the door. Out of sight, out of mind, or so he thought. A loud bang erupts from inside the clothes closet. Kubakoi approaches cautiously and opens the door. Nothing appears disturbed, but the doll seems to be staring directly at the closet entrance. He decides to keep documenting, hoping to prove this is somehow explainable. What happens next confirms his worst fears.
so I'm playing video games on my desk and I just heard the guitar play itself and it moved, I swear. Let's see if it does it again.
His guitar suddenly moves and continues shifting position. Then comes the knocks. 3 distinct knocks. In paranormal folklore, 3 knocks represent a mockery of the Holy Trinity, a signature of demonic presence. The activity has been confined to his bedroom until this point, but whatever attached itself to that doll was growing stronger.
So I'm at my desk and I just heard the water in the bathroom turn on by itself. This is the first time something's happened outside my room. So let's If you're in here, can you move the curtain again? Do you want me to leave?
For the first time, activity manifests outside Kubakoi's bedroom. He discovers the bathroom tap running with no one home. Something taps on the shower curtain from inside. He pulls it back, but there's nothing there. When he returns to his room, the doll has moved again. This time, it's positioned facing his bed, watching where he sleeps.
Or it'll just move the shirt in the closet. Hey, if you can hear me, just move it again. We can actually just go check it out. There's no one in here. It's not really, it's kind of cluttered, so.
A shirt hanging in his closet suddenly slides down on its own. It falls directly onto the doll, covering its face. But the escalation doesn't stop there.
And then the light turned on when I was watching it. So now I just turned it off and it's on. Hey, if you want me to leave, move. Again, there's no one. Sorry, it's kind of dark, but this guy or girl or whatever it is. Move it again. It was moving earlier. Move again. See that? Move it more. Still knocking, see? Anything else? Oh, not sure. Anything else? I'm knocking. Okay. If you can hear me, can you move something? Move it again. Oh shit! I swear that bottle just moved. Yeah, look, you can see the water inside of it and everything.
Bathroom sink turns on by itself again, then the lights begin switching on and off. With no one near the switches, Kubikoi desperately asks if the entity wants him to leave, and objects continue moving in response to his questions. The curtains shift when he requests another sign. Whatever came with that $5 eBay purchase has taken control of his home. Kubikoi now finds the doll in different positions nearly every single day. Whatever presence attached itself to that doll has found a new home, and it shows no sign of leaving. On September the 6th, 2025, a family in northern Texas begins filming a violent thunderstorm outside their home. The lightning strikes are intense enough that they decide to document the unusual weather activity.
Hey, what is that? That's a UFO.
Oh, yeah, it looks like a. Oh, fuck.
What is that? Wait.
What the fuck?
Hey, I'm
Wild Ray.
and it's moving.
What
No,
the
that's it's an airplane.
Girl, not that little motherfucking airplane up there.
That looks crazy. It's
What
huge as
the It's just getting bigger and bigger.
Nah, dude, that's some scary shit.
During the lightning flashes, a massive dark object becomes visible inside the storm clouds. The shape appears solid and structured, unlike typical cloud formations. Multiple witnesses can be heard in the audio trying to identify what they're seeing. Some initially suggest it could be an inverted tornado, but the object's shape doesn't match that explanation. The dark mass appears to be stationary within the clouds, despite the violent storm activity around it. As more lightning illuminates the area, the object's size becomes increasingly apparent. Viewers who analyse the footage have debated whether the storm was concealing something using the electrical activity as cover. Similar footage has emerged from other storm systems showing unexplained shapes within clouds. Now, whether this was an atmospheric phenomenon or something else hidden by the Texas thunderstorm remains unexplained. TikTok user Alexis Lachica works the closing shift at a movie theatre in Mexicali, Mexico. By 3 a.m, the building should be completely empty except for the cleaning staff, but everyone who works there knows the truth. After the last movie ends and the doors lock, the theatre belongs to something else. Staff have reported hearing a woman crying in empty screening rooms and seeing apparitions wandering the corridors. Most employees refuse to work alone after midnight, but Alexis needs the extra pay, so he volunteers for the graveyard shift. On this particular night, he decides to live stream his cleaning routine to prove the ghost stories are nonsense. That decision would change everything.
La luz. Se apaga la luz, pero a la madre. ¿Oyeron? No, se escuchó un grito. ¡A la bestia! Güey, ¿qué pedo? Ya me voy. Ya se prendió, mira, ya me voy. Verga. Qué pinche miedo. Si estoy solo. Yo salí del baño y andaba para allá. Y allá es donde se me iba esa cosa. Vete a la... ¿Se escuchan? La puerta. No va a pasar. Me volvieron a apagar la luz. No, ya me voy. Pero lo que querían saber era ya. Ya me voy, la verga. Tengo miedo.
While live streaming in the lower level hallway, every light in the building suddenly cuts out. When the dim emergency lights finally flick on, the unmistakable sound of a woman crying begins echoing through the empty corridors. Alexis moves cautiously through the hallway as the crying grows louder. Then, as he pans his camera down the corridor towards the support pillars, a figure can be seen peeking out, staring directly at him. According to theatre records, a woman sadly passed away in this building in 1987. Her body was found in the lower level hallway, the exact section where Alexis captured this footage. And for Alexis, he quit the next morning and never returned to the theatre. TikTok user Ashley Lynn purchased her first home in June 2024 from a family member. The house was only 20 years old, with no sinister history. Everything seemed perfect until she started hearing sounds coming from upstairs. Ashley decided to document her experiences on camera to prove she wasn't losing her mind.
I started to hear things upstairs when I was downstairs. I would hear a thud and both cats at the same time would look up the stairs. It's like, okay, so I'm not the only one who heard that. Awesome. I didn't think too much into it until my mom was staying in my guest room. And she just brought it up one day. She goes, hey, so I swear I heard someone whispering. Anyways, we went to go visit the relative that I bought this from because we had stuff to drop off. And we brought it up to her like, hey, so my mom heard someone whispering in this bedroom 2 nights in a row. And she responded, my daughter also heard that. So she's going to be actually really relieved to hear that she's not the only one.
After sharing her story, viewers urged Ashley to install a security camera in the spare bedroom. She was hesitant because part of her didn't want to see what might be there, but she needed answers. A few weeks after installing the camera, Ashley was downstairs trying to watch a movie. Every time she pressed play, she heard knocking sounds coming from upstairs.
Okay, so I'm a little freaked out. I've been off work for about an hour and I'm just trying to watch a movie. And every time I start the movie, I hear knocking upstairs. So I turned on the camera and I started to record it. Coco keeps looking towards the stairs. And it's freaking me out.
This is what the camera caught. The camera captured distinct knocking sounds with no visible source. Ashley's cat Coco kept staring towards the stairs, reacting to each knock. The pattern was always the same: 2 knocks, then silence, then 2 more knocks. Ashley performed another sage cleansing ritual, hoping to stop the activity. For 1 week, everything was quiet. Then the camera recorded something that would make Ashley question whether she could continue living in the house. The security footage shows Coco sensing something near the closet. The cat approaches cautiously, clearly aware of a presence humans can't detect. Then both closet doors move on their own, while Coco watches in confusion. Ashley received a motion alert on her phone and rushed upstairs to investigate.
I came up here because I got a notification on my camera that there was movement. So that's why I came up here and checked the closet. But no one is in the closet. Coco just went in there because, again, she's obsessed with going in closets. But Coco doesn't really seem scared of a lot of things. Also, I did check to make sure there's no crawl spaces, like any attic entrances, and there's not. Also, I unplugged the camera because, again, I don't need to know. If it's not evil, it's not hurting me, it's not hurting the cats, we can coexist.
When Ashley entered the room, she found the closet doors standing wide open. She checked inside thoroughly, but nothing was inside it and nowhere for it to go to. She was stumped by how the doors mysteriously opened by themselves. According to Ashley, as long as whatever shares her home isn't sinister, they can coexist. But she no longer wants to see proof of its presence, so she unplugged and boxed up the camera. However, that has left her with a question. What will happen in that bedroom now that no one's watching? Thanks so much for watching. If you're up for more scary videos, check out one of these next. You're gonna love them. Oh, and don't forget to hit like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.